Hey everybody, Carl here, and I wanted to bring you a little update on what I'm doing with the amplifier part of this series. Now we kind of covered just using the 386, the LM386, and that by itself you can use that for what we're doing. Remember, we've got three parts to this. We've got first we have the transmitter that we're going to send the signal out. Once we send it out, it gets picked up by our crystal radio, and then because the crystal is what it is, and we want to listen to it without having to listen to this like weird little earpiece, we build an amplifier. So we have, the cool thing about it is we have three different projects all working together, but yet we can use them separately too. So, it's like multiple purpose project. We can use the transmitter by itself, play it in any radio we want. In this particular case, we're going to be doing an AM transmitter, but I mean we can use that by ourselves, or we can put the transmitter and send it to the crystal and use an earpiece, and like if we want to listen and have nobody else bother anybody, so we can have those two working together. Then we can just have the crystal itself. If you just want to have fun and just listen to it and not have any power at all, you can do that and see what you pick up and get. And then we could just add that on to the amplifier, so we don't need the little headphone, and we're still just using the crystal. And then last, we have the amplifier, which we talked about before. We could use that in so many different ways. You want to amplify your phone. You listen to music, you want to get a little louder. You can use it as a signal tracer. Hook up at the end, have your maybe a diode and a capacitor, and go through and use it as a tracer. Just general purpose amplifier. Or we can just, like I said before, hook that up to the crystal and two parts of the whole. In other words, we're doing a whole lot in just these three little projects we're doing. I think that's really cool. Now, like I said, I'm still finishing up with the amplifier part, and there's like so many more, and down the road we might even build more different kinds of amps. Right now, the last one I'm doing, and I'm going to show it to you here in a second, I'm going to try to show you the schematic that I came up with, is I wanted to use the 741, the LM741 op amp as a preamp to the LM386. Now, and this is real popular. And what I've tried to do is I've tried to cut it down to minimum components, so it'll still work, sound pretty clean. You can play it through speakers, which I'm going to show you in a second, and still have something. Now, we're not going for a high fidelity stereo system here. Our main task is to amplify our crystal radio that's picking up a signal from our transmitter. And I think this is going to work really well because it's sensitive enough to pick up a low signal that the crystal is going to be putting out, and still be able to push it through regular speakers. So I'm going to show you what I've got here so far. I etched a PC board, and I tell you, I don't have a laser printer, so I cannot draw out my my pattern and run it through the laser and then put it on the board and iron it on and do all that. I can't do that because I don't have one. So I've been using a Sharpie, and just using the black, I was having a little bit of problems. I mean, I'd have to wait, and nothing was going to happen, nothing was happening. And then if you'd wait too long, all of a sudden now not only is all the copper gone, but also the traces, a lot of the traces have gone away. And from what I've read, sometimes Sharpies, even though if you look at them, like a microscope, whatever, there's a lot of holes in the when you lay it down, and that's why a lot of people, they use like these enamels and different kinds of to mark that with. And well, I don't have that either. I've got Sharpies, and so I got a board together, and I'm going to show you. I'm gonna do a little drilling on it and do a little work on it, and I'll show you how I do that too. So without that, let's get to it. I want to show you what I have on the breadboard. I'll show you what I've got drawn up on a small schematic, and I'll show you a little bit of the PC board and where we're at so far. Okay, there we go. Okay, here's what I have right now. Here I got a LM741 going into my LM386. Like I said, not as you can see, even in this little rat nest, there's not really a whole lot going here. And I'm gonna play just a little teeny bit of this, just so you can hear how good it sounds. And please forgive me, it's still the middle of winter. It went from very, very cold to like 1 or 2 days of like weird spring, and now it's back again. I think we're in the like mid-teens. So my furnace is going to run. There's nothing I can do about that. So let's see what Kraftwerk has to say through this little deal right here. And I'll show you what I'm playing through. That speaker on the wall there, and that speaker there, and I'm not going to play more than that because we know what happens, don't we? And let me real quick, let me see if I can bring something up here. Maybe one of mine on YouTube, and I can mess with the. Let me just show you a little bit more, What I really like, and I've studied a lot, and I've used a lot of. Okay, now while I'm talking, it's here's the volume control. Part 1 and 2, and then they've also got. So I can turn it down a bit. 100 transistor circuits, and then part 2 is like 100 to 200. So there's like, there's. So anyway, I'm just saying this is, pretty simple. Transistors, that's one place. There's a whole bunch of other places. But for right now, I'm going to cut this right here because I got a ton of editing. Yep, I am too. So noisy and loud. There, I cut that. Anyway, like I said, I'm running, here's the circuit I'm running, and I'm running it through one of my phones, and I've got a speaker on this side, and I got a speaker over there. So I'm running 2 speakers on this simple little circuit. Now let me show you the circuit here. Okay, here's the circuit that I put together. Like I said, it's really, really simple. And if you notice, there's hardly anything at all hooked onto the LM386. I do have a jumper going from 1 to 8, and that's a boost. That will that can take it all the way up to have a gain of 200 actually. But if you notice, it's pretty straight. I'm going straight out, straight in, and I am using a capacitor to couple the 2 op amps. But for the most part, pretty darn simple. And I'll have a better schematic. It'll show you all the values and stuff later on. But for right now, this is what I have, and just wanted to show you just how basically simple this can be. Okay, and I'm not sure how well this is going to actually show up on here. But this is a little circuit board that I came up with, and I need to clean it just a little bit better. But for most parts, I have most all of my points that I need. And I'm going to take and start trying to use a Dremel. I'm going to use one of these little hand drills, and I'm going to drill my holes out where I need them. And before I do that, I'm going to use one of these. It's an auto punch, and what that does is you push down on it, it will all of a sudden pop and snap, and it will pop a really nice little dent, just enough of an indent for your drill to sit in, so it doesn't skip all over. You know, it's an auto punch. It punches a small hole or a dent, so you can drill on, and you don't get the drift from your drill. So let me do that, and I'll come back and I'll kind of show you what a couple of them look like. Okay, so I banged out a couple of dents right there. I'll finish this side here, and we'll drill them, and we'll go from there. Okay, I know it's a little crooked. Like I said, I had trouble with the traces, but the way I got it, it'll work. I mean, each one is connected to the trace all right. So that one's done. I need to. I got 8 of them over here. Then I got some where they jump around and do stuff, and I'll get all those in. But eventually I'll have them all drilled, and I'll solder them up back here. And I may need to jump a few. I need, a couple little wires here and there. But it should work. And like I said, and for the size of it, then that'll be my my amplifier board, with a preamp and a regular output amp. So I just wanted to give you a quick update on what I was doing, and when I get this one finished, we're going to start on the transmitter the next time. So until then, everybody take care, and I'll be seeing you real soon. Bye.